To the rest of the world, it seems to be one gigantic country where South Africa is the capital and the people speak one language. But Africa is a continent with 54 countries where each has its own, usually variety of languages. Why don't we go on a brief ride on this together? My name is this other guy and this is Africa. Interesting facts. There are several different theories regarding the origin of the name Africa. Most etymologists believe the name is derived from Afri, the title for a group of people who dwelt in North Africa near Carthage around the 3rd century BC, and Car, the Roman suffix for country or land. Ancient Greeks and Romans originally used the term Africa to apply only to the northern region of the continent. In Latin, the word Africa means sunny, and the word Aphrike in Greek means without cold. Africa is the second largest continent in the world by area, covering 44,391,162 square kilometers in area. You can fit all of China, USA, India, and a large part of Europe and Africa combined. Being the second largest continent by population as well, Africa has more than 1 billion people, and they speak, by estimates, close to 2,000 languages. None of those languages is called African. Just like any other continent, Africans don't all know each other, and we don't all speak Swahili. Arabic and various dialects is the most common language spoken in Africa, and most Africans are fluent or conversant in more than one language. There are more French-speaking people in the whole continent of Africa than in France. Africa is not Sahara Desert or a wide stretch of rainforest. We don't have lions roaming in our backyards. We don't ride elephants to school. We don't walk around naked in the bush. We don't live in caves, and we don't all live in huts. If you imagine that all houses in Africa have no plumbing and no toilets, then you are an idiot. The African continent is the wealthiest in natural resources. The world's largest reserves of precious metals are found in this continent, with over 40% of the gold reserves, over 60% of the cobalt, and 90% of the platinum reserves all found in the continent. When we visit Europe or America from Africa, we don't swim across the ocean. We take flights like everyone else. And when aeroplanes come to Africa, they don't land in the bush. On your way from the airport to the hotel, you probably won't be carried by a donkey cart. We have cities, we have electricity, we have schools, and we know what Facebook is. Central Eastern Africa is believed by most scientists to be the origin place of humans. Charles Darwin was the first scientist to suggest that the ancestors of modern humans may have originated in Africa. This, however, was rejected by the prejudicial Western world until well into the 20th century. The world's largest land animal is the African elephant. The world's tallest animal, the giraffe, lives in Africa. The fastest land animal in the world, the cheetah, lives in Africa. Africa is home to the world's largest reptile, the Nile crocodile. Speaking of the Nile, it is 6,650 kilometers long, making it the world's longest river, and it is of course located in Africa. 13% of the world's hydroelectric power potential lies in the Congo River. It is the deepest river in the world and the most powerful river in Africa. This river has the potential to single-handedly power all of sub-Saharan Africa. The novel Tarzan of the Apes, set in Africa and published by American author Edgar Burroughs in 1912, created such a compelling image of Africa and the book's title character that a New Orleans newspaper writer only half-jokingly suggested that if Tarzan were to run for president of America in 1929, he would receive as many votes as the incumbent president, Herbert Hoover. The deserts of Tunisia house the original Star Wars movie set for the film's planet, Tatooine. More than 30 years after the first movie in the series, the sets are still well preserved, and visitors to Tunisia can even stay in Luke Skywalker's home. This is Africa, and this is the subscribe button that you are going to click now to get a notification every time I upload a video.